Hello YouTubers. So I have this Logitech MX mouse, and I was annoyed with it not being able to charge from the USB. I don't want to carry the wall wart with me when I'm using it with my laptop. So I figured maybe I could change it. So I took the charger stand apart, and it has a pretty basic charging circuit. It's pretty much just well, I actually don't know what it does. It just has a capacitor and some other blue component. So I figured maybe I hook it up to a 5-volt power supply and see what happens. So we turn it on. There's no current draw. The mouse is off. On. And it's charging. And it's drawing about 2.6 milliamps. Now remind that I have hooked up the measuring wires in the this is the 2 amp port. Usually it's a 10 amp port on a decent multimeter, but this is just a crappy one. The funny thing is the current draw on the fuse port is much less, but I think it's the multimeter restricting the current flow. So if I hook it up to select the highest range it can handle on that setup, it's charging, but the current is much less. It's just 1.3, 1.4 milliamps. I don't know why there's that difference. And you see it stops charging. So I think it's the multimeter restricting it. So in order to figure out if this controller board was using the default pinout, which I suspected it didn't, since the rightmost wires were black and red, I used the multimeter in the ohm settings to see which wire was which according to the default pinout of the plug. And the black is ground and the red is V5. If I turn it over, you can see soldering without the white background is ground, and the one next to it is the V5. So all I'm gonna do is desolder this little print board and solder those 2 points to this, and that should be it. So we need to make sure that the controller board isn't using too much current combined with the charging. So I hook up my measuring device, and the board doesn't need the casing right now, since we're not gonna fiddle with it. Can never remember which way this is. And as we can see, there's no current. I have tried it with the mouse moving, and there's absolutely no difference whatsoever. So job's done. I have detached the charging mount and soldered the wires. As you can see, it's missing. So let's see if it's working. Woohoo! No current. It's plugged in. Mouse is off. Turn it on. it's working. Let's charge it. What do you know? And as you can see, the current is rising and the voltage has dropped a bit, but perfectly within spec. Just about 400 milliamps, sorry. Yep, well within spec, I'd say, for USB 2.0. So, job done.